Good morning, everybody. So, as we know, till now, I have taught you what is the cations and what is the anions, and as well as valency and types of valency of anions like monovalent ions, divalent ions, trivalent ions. That is all we discussed in the last class. So now, before that, we studied what is the we can say types of like atomicity, monoatomicity, diatomicity, triatomicity. That is all we discussed in this chapter previously. Now, today's class we are going to study a very important one. That is what chemical formula. So definitely in our exam also they will ask you write the chemical formula of the compounds. Now, if you want to write the chemical formula, particularly as we know, we are having two kinds of compounds. What is the two kinds of compounds I have taught you? Anybody? One is a covalent compounds, and another one is what? Ionic compound. So, writing the ionic compounds, the chemical formula of ionic compounds is always little difficult, because if you want to write the ionic compounds, you must know two kinds of ions. What is that ions, everybody? One is cations and another one is what ions? Anions. Okay. So unless you know the cations and as well as anions, we will never able to write the ionic formula or ionic chemical formula of ionic compounds. So remember, cations always what charge is present, everybody? Cations is always carries positive charge and anions always will carries negative charge.
Negative charge.
So the maximum charge passed by this cation, so remember either +1 or +2 or +3. So this is what the charge shown by the cations. Same way, anions, what is the charge shown? You have seen already. Anybody? -1, -2 or -3. So that is what it is. Means cations can donate either 1 electron or 2 electrons or 3 electrons maximum. And anions means they will receive, that atoms will receive either 1 electron or 2 electrons or 3 electrons. That is the meaning of that. Is it yes, everyone? Please respond. Good morning, Mitakshri. That is what you have to remember. Now, let us come to here. Today's class will discuss chemical formula. So what is this chemical formula and how to write the chemical formulas for both covalent compounds and as well as ionic compounds we'll discuss. Now, always all of you remember, as we know, who can donate the electrons, who is to call some name? Anybody can tell me? The elements who can donate electrons, who is to call something? Yes, Harish? Donate electrons, that elements is called as electropositive elements. Is it yes or no? And who will receives electrons? Receives electrons. Whom what we is to call, guys? Receives electrons is called as, all of you,
Negative elements.
Negative elements. Understand, Harini? Who will donate electrons is called as electropositive elements. Who will receive electrons is called as electronegative elements. Anything doubt? Harini, I am asking you only.
No, sir.
Okay. Please remember, by donation, we used to say electropositive. Receiving, we will say electronegative. Okay. Now, what is this chemical formula? Let us see that. And what is the importance of chemical formula? Everything we'll discuss. Right. The shorthand notation of the shorthand notation or representation. The shorthand notation or representation of a chemical compound is called chemical formula. Is called chemical formula. Are you clear, all of you? So just we are representing this chemical formula in the form of shorthand, means in the form of symbols. So that is what we used to call as a chemical formula. So what is this use of this chemical formula? So what is the information? Why we should represent? That is all we will discuss now. Okay. So you can write the importance, like information, or you can say the importance of chemical formula. Importance of chemical formula. So now notice it very carefully. Let us analyze this one with the example so that you all will understand. For example, the well-known compound to us is called as sodium chloride. I think you might be all knows. Is it yes or no, guys? Sodium chloride? Yes, please. So this is the chemical compound. Chemical compound. Now, if I will write its formula, can you tell me what is the formula? Anybody? What is the sodium chloride formula? All of you should tell me. Sodium symbol is Na and chlorine. Chloride means chlorine. Chlorine symbol is Cl. So this is the formula of the sodium chloride. Now, let us discuss what is the compound, what is the information we'll get from this chemical formula. First information, notice it very carefully. I will notice various elements present in this given compound. Is it true or not? Everybody, we will notice various elements present in the given compound. Is it true or not? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, I will say sodium chloride. Mr. Johan cannot understand who is present inside. But if I say NaCl, at least he can able to identify two elements are present. Can you tell me who is the two elements, Mr. Johan? Kaushik? Who is the two elements present here? In the sodium chloride, who is the two elements present here? Can you hear me? Mr. Johan, leave from the meeting. I don't want such a irresponsible fellows. Who is the elements present, Arini? Ashwin? What is the elements present, Amma? One is sodium and another one is what? Chlorine. So I can identify the elements which are present in the given compound when I will write the chemical formula. Next, the second one, relative number of different atoms. Relative number of different atoms. So now, for example, I will say sodium chloride. I will never know how many sodium atoms are there, how many chlorine atoms are there. But if I will write the formula, I will identify the number of atoms. So how many number of sodium atoms are there here? Everyone. Sodium atoms, how many are there? One sodium atom and one chlorine atom. So when I write the formula, only I can able to know what is the number of different atoms are present. Relative number of different atoms is present. We will understand only when we come to know the chemical formula. Next, suppose I will ask you to calculate the molecular mass. Means what is the mass of that molecule? Now you tell me, Mitakshri, Harish, they will never respond. Okay, leave it. So when you will calculate easily, when you know the formula or you know the chemical name, when you can calculate the molecular mass easily?
Formula, sir.
when you come to know the formula. So that is the importance. So when I come to know the chemical formula, I will easily calculate the molecular mass. That is the importance. The molecular mass of the compound can be easily calculated. With the help of chemical formula. So that is why chemical formula is very important. Okay. Also, we have studied the ratio also. Do you remember? Second chapter we'll study the ratio, percentage ratio. So we will calculate the percentage ratio also. For example, water, if you have taken, what is the percentage ratio, mass ratio? Anybody can tell me? Mitakshri, Harish, Arun, what is the mass ratio of water? Elemental ratio is 2:1. What is the mass ratio?
1:8.
1:8. This is the mass ratio. So we can easily calculate the mass ratio only when we come to know the chemical formula of a compound. That is what importance. So these are the four informations we can say. The percentage of various elements present in the compound. Various elements present in the compound. So we will get it. That is only called as mass ratio. So we will come to know the element ratio and we can come to know the mass ratio. So this is what is the importance of writing the chemical formula. So if we write the chemical formula, these many informations we will get about the compound. So anyone having any doubt, please kindly ask. Please write it. Harini, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Kaushik, never respond, Kaushik. How many times I will say? I don't know what you will do. So that is what you have to remember that. So if you're writing the chemical formula, we will get this much information. Ashwin, clear Ashwin, anything doubt? Divya, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Write it. Shall we start now? Now, let us discuss some of the important chemical compounds, which is the names is always coming. So later we'll write the chemical formulas. So these all the compounds which I am going to give you now, they are actually like covalent compounds, which does not formed by donating or receiving electrons. Keep it in mind always, all of you, covalent compounds only formed by sharing of electrons. How they will form? Everybody? Only by sharing of electrons. Kindly remember, sharing of electrons only will give you the covalent compounds. So these covalent compounds only formed by non-metals. Please, all of you remember. Means one non-metal reacts with the another non-metal, it will form a covalent compound. Are you clear, guys? Everybody? Means one non-metal and another non-metal, they will share the electrons among each other. That is what we used to say a covalent compounds. So now let us discuss some of the important covalent compounds which is used to come in our daily life. So that is what we are going to see now. The first covalent compound, if you have noticed, water. So can you tell me what is the chemical formula of water, all of you? Chemical formula of water. Don't know? Next, methane. The chemical formula is CH4. Next, ammonia. Ammonia, chemical formula is NH3. Next, glucose. How many of you are eating the glucose? Kaushik, write the notes. I will check your notes evening. I'm sure I'm saying. Definitely I'll check the notes of you people. Glucose. Glucose formula is C6H12O6. Next, you might be knows alcohol. Alcohol is which one the people used to drink and all, as well as in our so many places will use. That is what C2H5OH. I'm saying the formulas. Next, acids. We will use two acids, popular acids. Can you tell me what is the name of the popular acids we'll use? One is sulfuric acid. Next one is hydrochloric acid. So now if I have taken sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, and hydrochloric acid is HCl. Same way, calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, CaCO3. So these are the some of the examples I'm giving you guys. Suppose if you take carbon dioxide, we'll write the formulas again. Carbon dioxide, what is the formula? Anybody can tell? What is the formula of carbon dioxide? Arun, Aswin, carbon dioxide formula therilla. CO2. Okay. So like this, these are the some of the important compounds and their formulas which you have to learn, because so many things, so many times it will be helpful for us to solve. So that is what is the important chemical compounds and their formulas. Now, in our today's class, mainly we are going to concentrate a chemical formula of some ionic compounds. That is what by the method called as crisscross method. So we will solve so many examples and so many chemical compounds to make you more better. So please, if you want to solve, write the chemical formula of any kind of ionic compound, you must know ionic table which is present in our book. So can anybody tell me what is the page number, Harish? That ionic table?
37, sir.
Yeah. So you all should need to by heart that tabular column. If you don't even cannot learn, also you can learn, like we can say directly by hearting also. So unless you don't know the tabular column, we people cannot write any formulas in that. That is what page number 37, you will be having what we discussed in the yesterday's class. That is what types of ions and all. Monoatomic ions, diatomic ions, and triatomic ions, or we will say polyatomic ions. You can see here, more than 2 atoms are forming the ion. That is what we will say polyatomic ions. Yes or no? I taught you or not yesterday? Polyatomic ions. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you must have this entire tabular column in our mind, unless you cannot answer. And be very careful. Here you can see copper 1 means Cu plus. Copper 2, Cu2 plus. Same way, iron 2, Fe2 plus. Iron 3, Fe3 plus. Be very careful. Iron 2, we have some name. Have you noticed it? What is the name of the iron 2? Everybody? Ferrous. Iron 2 is called as ferrous. Iron 3 is called as, what is to call, guys? Iron 3?
Ferric.
Be very careful. Ferrous, iron 2 plus. Ferric, iron 3 plus. Like that. Kindly learn entire tabular column. Unless you know this tabular column, we people cannot solve, we cannot write the chemical formula of ionic compounds. So kindly learn the chemical formulas and as well as their valencies without fail. So then only it is easy to write the chemical formulas. So let us write, today's class, please all of you write, keep heading, chemical formula of some ionic compounds. Chemical formula of some ionic compounds. Chemical formula of some ionic compounds. So what is the ions present? Anybody can tell? Yes, please. Chemical formula of ionic compounds I am giving a name. So ionic compounds means what is ions present? Anybody? We are having two kinds of ions. Anyone can tell? Yes, please. What is ions present, Hari?
Cation, anions.
That is what I am asking. So cations and as well as anions. That is only ionic compounds. So ionic compounds will formed by always what? One metal and another one is what? One non-metal will share the electrons. Sorry, one metal will donate or lost the electron and one non-metal will receive or accept the electrons. So that is what it will be happening. So then only the ionic compounds will form. So metals always will form. What ions, guys? Cations or anions? Everybody should tell me. They will form the cations and non-metals will form what ions? All of you?
Anions.
Anions. Cations will formed by metals and anions will formed by non-metals. That is what you have to remember it. Now, so what is the method we will use to write the formula here? That method name is called as what?
Crisscross method.
Crisscross rule. So crisscross rule is the rule. We will apply the formula to write the formula of some compounds. We will write this crisscross rule. So what is this rule? Please write that first. Rule right. When formula is written, what is crisscross rule? When formula is written, then the valencies are exchanged. Then the valencies are exchanged. Write neatly. Exchanged and Mr. Johan, I will check the class work. And the charge is not mentioned. And the charge is not mentioned. What do you mean by charge is not mentioned? Anyone? Anyone, please? Means a positive or negative or no need to represent. Only that number we have to represent. Is it okay, guys? I understand what I'm saying? A positive or negative, no need to represent. Charge is not necessary to represent. Only valency should exchange. Is it okay, Hari? That's right.
Yes.
That is what you have to remember, all of it. Okay? So right now, first chemical compound which we are going to study now is calcium chloride. A, you represent with A. Calcium chloride. So calcium chloride. So in this compound, who is the cation? Anybody can tell me? In this compound, who is the cation? You should tell me. Cation is calcium. Calcium. So calcium is Ca2 plus. Calcium ion. Next, who is the anion? All of you?
Chlorine.
Anion. Chloride one, which is Cl minus. So, what is our first step? First calcium cation and then chloride ion, we have to write it. So that is what is the primary step. Ca2 plus and Cl minus. Now, okay, we have to write the symbols first. So what is the symbols, guys? This is the ions. Ions doesn't matter. Symbols tell me. What is the symbols we know? Symbols is what? One is calcium. Another one is what? Chlorine. Okay. Next. Valencies. Valencies how much? Forget about the charge. Positive or negative doesn't matter. What is the valency of calcium? Harini, Johan, what you are seeing? Valency of calcium. Valency of calcium 2. Valency of chlorine, nothing is there means here minus indicate -1. So charge is not needed 1. Calcium valency is 2. Chlorine valency is 1. Now just exchange that between the atoms. So that's all will come. So we'll get Ca1 and Cl2. So Ca1 means 1 is not necessary to show. I will say CaCl2. That's all. The chemical formula of calcium chloride. What is the chemical formula of calcium chloride, everybody? CaCl2. Are you understand? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Ca2, calcium chloride. Just see, you have to know because we are writing now what compounds, ionic compounds or covalent compounds. Later we will write covalent compounds. Be very careful. Now we are writing ionic compounds. Ionic compounds means you must know cation, you must know anion. Then only it is possible to write the formula. So first of all, if you will identify the cation and anion, then you must write the symbols, later valencies, and just apply cross, exchange the cross. That's all it will happen. Next, sodium carbonate. Write it, everybody. Sodium carbonate. Carbonate. So now tell me what is the cation here? All of you should tell me. What is the cation? Cation, all of you. Sodium, okay? Sodium is plus. Now what is the anion? Anion. Yes, carbonate. This is sodium and this is carbonate. Carbonate. Can you tell me, Hari, what is the carbonate symbol? CO3. 2 minus. This is what it is. So now you can check in our book also. You should learn, that is what I said. If you want to write the chemical formula, you must know this tabular column fully. So that's saying sodium carbonate. Check it, everybody. Sodium is present here. What is the sodium? Check it here. Sodium Na plus. Na plus means +1. And carbonate is present here. CO3 2 minus. That is what I am writing. Sodium is Na plus, carbonate is CO3 2 minus. So this both only, one is cation, another one is anion. What anion it is? Polyatomic anion. Polyatomic anion. Okay. Now you can write the formula. Now all of you can see. So write the symbols. All of you know what is the symbols? Open your mouth. What is the symbols here? Symbols what? Na, and this symbol is CO3. Now valencies. Forget about the charge. Only tell me valencies. What is the valencies, guys? Check it here. Sodium valency.
1, sir.
1. Carbonate valency. 2. So apply cross. That's all. You will get Na2 and this is CO3 whole bracket 1. Be very careful. Whole bracket 1 because this is entire thing is 1. Entire together it is. That is why 1. So 1 it is not necessary to represent. So that I will write Na2CO3. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please write. This is the second one. Second B. Next. Completed means I'll go to the next one. By this time you should learn. Now two compounds I taught. Two compounds, what is the ions present? What is their valencies? You must learn. Otherwise, again I will study later, sir, means it is not possible. Even see Harini and Mithakshri, they knows already very well, but still they'll always will learn because they want to maintain the efficiency. That is what more you have to concentrate. Do it now. You understand everybody? Right, next one. Second one completed, Harini?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Learn the valencies also. Next one, ammonium sulfate. C. Arun, are you writing, Arun? Ammonium sulfate.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ammonium sulfate. Now, go to the tabular column and check it. Ammonium and sulfate, wherever they are. And I taught you, do you remember the one and only positive polyatomic ion? Who is the one and only positive polyatomic ion? Anyone?
Ammonium, sir.
Ammonium. Check it here, all of you. Remember, this all entire this light orange color C, everything is called as polyatomic ions only. But all are negative only. Check it. Minus, 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 2 minus, 2 minus, 2 minus, 3 minus. One and only positive polyatomic ion is what, guys? Ammonium. So what is the valency? Plus 1. Okay, that is what. So now ammonium sulfate. So ammonium is here, NH4 plus. Sulfate is here. Sulfate, correct? Sulfate here, SO4 2 minus. This is what ions now. So write it. That is what ions. So what I will write now? Cation. Who is the cation? You should tell me. Cation. Who is the cation?
Sulfate, sir. Me.
Ammonium. Hurry. Ammonium. NH4 plus. Understand, Hurry? Cation I must positive, Hurry. Sulfate. Sulfate is the anion. Understand, Hurry? What is the symbol? Sulfate, everybody. SO4. SO4 2 minus. Okay, everyone? Yes, please. Now you write the symbols. So what is the symbols? Basically, symbols, right? What is the symbols?
Yes.
NH4 and this one is what? SO.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, valencies. Valencies. Be very careful. Valence is what? Ammonium. Ammonium is plus 1. No, charge is not necessary to write. Charge is not needed. So I will write only valency. Valency is 1. Plus indicating 1. Plus 1 or plus. Sulfate. What is the valency, Arun? Sulfate valency. Kaushik. Sulfate. 2. 2 minus. So 2. So now you can apply the crisscross method. So just apply the cross. So the formula will turn like this. See that NH4 whole bracket twice because 2 it is. It's not only for this one. Whole it is. Same way here. SO4 1. So this 1 is not necessary represent. More than 1 we should represent must. So the formula will turns into how, guys? You all should tell me. NH4 twice SO4. That is what? Ammonium sulfate formula. Anybody is having any doubt? Let me know. Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is what the third compound. Write it. Third one. Any doubt? Anybody ask? Ashwin, understand, Ashwin? The tabular column must be in our mind. you have to, like, you will by heart it or you learn or I don't bother, but it must be in our mind. Unless you know that, you people cannot solve anything. Shall we go to the next one, everybody?